Either they don't know, don't show,
or give a fuck about fathers in America.
We never should have crossed paths, she sour like a lemon. Fact is, I got the right kids with the wrong woman. Had to cut her off, shouted lost, talking crazy. Yeah, her cat's another planet, but my world is my babies. I ain't worried about but my kids and my freedom. Bruh, there can talk slick, cause his jits don't need them. Either way, I'm happy it's when by a teeter-totter. The stars change when I see smiles coming from my daughter.
Warning. Due to the realness and seriousness of the topic or topics discussed within this video, explicit language will be heard randomly. The views and opinions heard and seen in this video are from a proud father, not to offend parents who are there and care for the well-being of their children. But if the shoe fits, where the
Welcome back, family. This is MarqueeBlaque with the Be Careful Who You Have Kids With podcast or whatever. This is part 2, and this is mainly going to be about replacing presents. Something I realized while being on this journey is if you speak on things that have happened in the past, some people will look at it like, oh, he's bitter, just because they haven't heard the full story. They heard bits and pieces here and there, and some half-truths, some partial truths, while most are lies. But you never really spoke on certain shit. So when you do speak up, it looks like you're lying and or are bitter. Well, to that I say, ashe. Come on.
bazinga.
A sad reality many parents are in is when you hear your children say that they want to live with you, but moves made unbeknownst to you have set up traps every step. Those people that are around who never were, often some type of family that likes to feel useful, allow themselves to get used and in turn use whatever's in their power to stop what should be happening. I like to think that there's a special place down south for waiting for those kinds. If home is where the heart is, my children are homeless and have been for over 5 years. A lot of people I see online have gotten complacent with the idea that, yeah, the children grow up and see which parent was trash, but something should and could be done now. Ain't nothing cool about being a statistic in a society that puts you in an unfavorable box. Let me have a heart-to-heart with my fathers out there. Look, big dog, do not give up. You know what I'm saying? You know your children need you. Like, we can see that just from like little conversations we have with them. Like, you know that their mind is not even up to par to where it should be because they're not getting the individual attention that they need. So, man, just don't give up, man. Keep trying. We gonna find a way either way. We got to. There's no other choice. It be the people without kids trying to raise your kids like they're their kids. Some move so malignant and malevolent, you're more than likely wouldn't even expect it at first glance. But when you realize a lot of these people's motives are structurally based off of money, then you understand what type of overseers your children are ruled under. See, not all of us have family with money that we can use and manipulate to get what we want. So when people do allow themselves to be used, it's extra weird to me. Like, you know that person is not good for them, but instead of standing the fuck out the way like you should, we're gonna make it hard for the father who has all the time in the world for his children difficult? Shame on them to the 10th power. And for reasons like this, I truly believe that is why there is laws, because without them, something like this just ain't going for most of us fathers. Got us fucked up in the worst of ways. The fact that strangers who now want to play a superhero role stand in the way of one's children is vile. Some people don't know what it's like being a father, having to talk to your children while being polite and respectful as you can of the parent in question. I'm talking about someone who's supposed to be protecting them and have their best interest. Those kind of people may think that they're helping out, but they are not, because bitch, I'm still alive. I'm still right here for my kids, always have been and always will. Meanwhile, they're trying to be something they never could be. That's just facts. Really, that's just biology.
Y'all know what it feel like to be mistreated by a woman when it comes to your child. You teary-eyed fighting to see your baby. Some niggas give their back to their child and never look back. And then some niggas fight to the bitter end.
Do you know how selfish and unfit one would have to be to take your children out of state like you never existed? This is how I understand when people say not everyone was meant to have kids. Do you know how mishandled the systems gotta be to allow this type of fuckery to happen? I'm gonna break it down for you. The Matrix is so foul, I didn't even have a judge to rule over my case. I had a judicial officer. Let that sink in. What I mean by that is that they don't give a f. They know that there's many of these cases and they do nothing about it. But if you break the law and match their energy, the tears would flood the earth and you'd be drowning in a cell. SMH. We see it all day, every day on the North, East, West, and South, aka the news. The only thing I got out of this particular situation in court, like to have the case purged or whatever garbage and verbiage they use to get over on us and fill their pockets, I got the bare minimum, which was them having the miscreant pay the transportation of exporting our children to and from my location, from the location that she took and hid our kids at. I say that because the individual wasn't even motherly enough to let me know the address. I had to do some type of PI work. Shaking my fucking head. I guess that seems like a win for some, but not for this dad when I was seeing my children every weekend after being legitimized. Might I add, if you don't know anything about legitimation and the fuck shit they put you through to prove that those are your kids, it would behoove you to look up that word and if your state is goofy enough to follow that. You know, a real loving mother or parent that loves their kids shouldn't be doing that anyways. Kids everywhere are being illegally took out of state against court orders. Meanwhile, you're stuck with questions that were never answered. What I mean is this. If you can't handle the truth, what's going on, leave them babies with their father. Don't be selfish, be a mother. So bare minimally speaking, Georgia, thanks, I guess, for the time I already deserve with my children. Tisk, tisk. Talk about dropping the ball. This is what a lot of parents, especially fathers, are going through right now, like it's supposed to happen. What I'm also seeing is a lot of fathers giving up. I can't because I got time and I love my children too much to let them not receive their father's love and give it back to the world in kind. So many of these individuals I look at now as Forrest Gumps, like they don't know no better, and if they do, fuck them.
He doesn't know any better.
Shout out to that man, one of the best movies ever made. Anyways, I'm super embarrassed for my kids.
Embarrassing!
But also embarrassed for the off-brand and counterfeit. Don't get me wrong, I can see if the non-custodial parent, who might I add is only a non-custodial parent because of the broken system's roadblocks set in place. Obviously, I'm speaking on self, but I, like maybe you, are one of many. But anyways, I can see if they aren't trying or anything, but 9 times out of 10, the people I've talked to, the stories I've read up on, as well as seen online, this is not the case. Even certain paperwork filled out and signed off by the courts are not followed. And for some odd reason, these lawbreakers or miscreants, for those who want to extend their vocabulary, aren't held in contempt. If their goal is to neglect the children from the father, they most definitely do not deserve the title of mom or mother. See, it's all in the wording of how these people try to justify their wickedness. Like me fighting for my kids is not only because they've expressed the neglect that they receive, it's like those are my motherfucking kids. Can't nobody show up for my children how I can. As a parent, like I guess it would take one to know one if you can't understand what was just stated. Also, it may not be for you and it's over your head and I don't even know why the Hello Kitty you're here if that's the case. Tablets and other forms of technology that are given to kidlings. Look, some adults are just buying the kids a tablet and letting them go on their way. Not keeping up with the children on what they may have learned, and that's being hopeful, assuming that the tablet given to them is built around education and learning. I don't know about all parents, but some of us like to ask questions about what they've learned that day, no matter what it is. That tablet cannot replace a parent's presence. Look here, I was a kid once. So I'm knowing it's all about the acknowledgement. Just talking with a child like as a kid, I feel like if one was a good enough parent, whatever I told that parent, whether they really cared or not, it felt like they did. Meanwhile, that stick of bubble gum wasn't even a blip in their memory. But it felt like that stick of gum was just as important to them as it was to me. So while replacing presents with toys and other distractions that this world has to offer, some parents, not to be sexist, but a lot of fathers in particular, have all the presents to give the child or children. You know, for real, there's really something sick about all of this. Like, I know you're not even watching the kids. I can watch the kids all day, and here's another thing. I actually want to. This isn't some, oh, I got a kid now, I guess I gotta take care of it. No, my babies were planned, named, and are loved. Once again, if there are any pro bono lawyers out there, or any lawyers out there that can help with any type of assistance, please contact me. Thank you for watching part 2, Replacing Presents, on the Be Careful Who You Have Kids With podcast or whatever, featuring me, MarqueeBlaque. I'm going to end this one with a fire trap from your boy called Ick. Peace.
Gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch. Ick, oops, gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch. God bless the niggas that had babies with street sweepers. Hoes in disguise is really despicable creatures. The unfortunate outcome of making the wrong decisions, when everyone around said don't do it but ain't listen. I can relate, I fornicate with that type. Now I shake my head often when the text gets tight. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, bruh? She ain't even queen, not at all clean and like some needed self-esteem. I can only imagine the cap I sees be hearing. All fiction, no facts, they bleed for love, they daddy give them. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with. I said alright, but earwax must have been too thick, cause I didn't take heed to that needed information. Now my babies are caught up in a fucked up situation, with parental alienation and living them code practices. Learning from indecent people, showing up below average. Ick, oops, gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch. Ick, oops, gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch. More than sweat feet, messing with them super villains, they're like every outcome to every superstition. The wrong supervision, they disrupt your intuition. Told my grandma I understand, but I really didn't listen. I ain't no pretty boy, bitch, I just look like this. They don't believe you till they see the metal glistening. Fluid flowing from the body, people screaming ick, like that just nasty. Got them feeling sick, fucking with the wrong nigga, but really the wrong parent. I ain't worried about you, bro, I'm in my head, I ain't staring. Thinking about my little ones and what they must be thinking. Worried about the future and me seeing their achievements. We've all got choices, so be careful how you choose. Think about the apples that be falling and be bruised. Some don't use their head, they only had you cause they thick. Some bitches ain't shit, bruh, so be ready for the switch. Ick, oops, gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch. Ick, oops, gross, tisk, my bad, I'm reminiscing about the time that pole got split. Granny said be careful who you have them kitties with, because they change up, hope you're ready for the pitch.